What am I going to say today? What am I going to ramble on about today? What am I going to struggle to find words for today? There are a few YouTubers that I follow who, can I consider them friends? To me, a friend is someone who wishes you well, who listens to you, is present with you, encourages you, helps you if you need it. Just someone that's there for you, someone that makes your time on this planet a little bit better. And in that respect, I consider YouTubers that I've interacted with as my friends. We haven't met in person and maybe never will, but they're still a part of my days, and some of them I've spent hours watching and listening to and hanging out with. And I consider those people my friends. There's been a handful of people that I've really committed to, like I'm a loyal viewer, a loyal subscriber, and and they're all different. They all have different personalities and different niches or lack thereof. And I like that because I don't, for me, I wanted to, I think the reason I wanted to start a channel in the first place was because I've been so disconnected from the world and my real life friends, the people I've known for years and years. We haven't been in touch. We haven't seen each other in person, and it's because of me. Which is a different story, but it's like I wanted to reach out to them and tell them what's going on in my mind, and just have a way of connecting with them until I can connect with them again in person, because I feel like I can't right now, just because it's been so traumatic. Lately, there's been a few that I've really fallen in love with as people. There was a philosopher in Australia, and a novelist in Dallas, and a storyteller from Appalachia who reminds me of my stepmom. She reminds me of my family from Tennessee. She has a heart of gold, and there's a couple of guys that I've recently found and am rooting for. I find these people that I genuinely like, and it really doesn't matter what they talk about. I like hanging out with these people because they seem like kind, good people. And those are the kind of people that I want in my world. I made all my videos private because I got into my head about it again. I'm comparing myself to others and feeling less than and like I have nothing of value to say. And please, for the love of God, will you please let that go? Please? It's not valid. It's not relevant. What other people are doing is not, it doesn't matter. I'm talking to myself in my room. That's all I need to know. How it's received or if it's received by anyone else, it doesn't matter. One of my YouTube friends was talking about his relationship with being on YouTube, and he kind of compared it to like, you know, if you were out in the street preaching, you wouldn't expect people to just stop and listen to you. You know, they're busy. They're doing their own thing. They have no reason to listen to you. And to expect anyone to care about what I'm doing, it's the same thing. Like, it's like if you're just sitting at the park and just saying what you're saying, like if you're singing a song or reading your own poetry or telling a story, some people might want to come and hang out and listen. And if they do, that's cool. They're a kindred spirit, and it's nice for what it is. But other people will pass by and not be interested at all, and to think that it would be otherwise here on YouTube it's not, it doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna think of this as just me telling stories or sharing my thoughts to the birds or to angels. And if someone happens to come by and hear me and like what I have to say or like my energy, then they can hang out with me and maybe we can become friends. But I think that's, that's the exception. That's the rare gift that sometimes comes. But in the meantime, I'm just going to speak because I need to speak. I need to connect with something because I have a lot going on inside me right now and it needs an outlet. My goal for YouTube is to find people to listen to that are thought-provoking and funny and make me think and give me hope. That's the kind of people that I like listening to. And so, and it doesn't matter what, once I have a sense of them and the kind of person they are, it doesn't matter what they talk about. It it's like I care about them, and I care about their story and their energy. And so that's how I'm going to approach it for myself too. I'm just going to trust that, you know, in the same way that I find people to hang out with, maybe someone will want to come hang out with me. And if they don't, they don't. Like, I think I'm a cool person. I think I'm a nice person. And I'm perfectly content in solitude. Like, I'm very easily entertained and I'm happy inside myself. It's only when I bring in other people and potential potential judgments and misunderstandings from other people that, you know, I get scared and start thinking shitty about myself. But if you take that away, I can see clearly the things that make me valuable. And I need to have more faith in that. But you know what? I'm not going to pressure myself to be thought-provoking or funny or anything. I'm going to use this as my journal, as my spiritual practice. Because I really do need to start taking more responsibility for my inner environment, because I've really let that go. I've been lazy about it. I've just let my conditioning and fears and patterns just have their way with me, and I can't do that anymore. The lows have been becoming way too low, and I can't afford to be so lazy with my mind anymore. So this is just a piece of that, you know, coming here and speaking whatever happens to be inside me, sharing, because whether anyone listens or not, my thoughts and my feelings, my experiences are valuable. They're meaningful, if only to me, and that is enough. So I'm not gonna try and be any kind of way. And I pray that this seeps down into my soul and is something that I can really embody. I hope it's something that I can really embody. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Thank you for listening. If there's someone there listening, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I will see you next time.